Chapter 1168 really gives us a look at King Harald at his peak, when everything he planned for Elbaf seems to finally be working. You can feel how proud he is. Elbaf is starting to look like what he envisioned instead of some isolated warrior island. They're trading with the world, seafood, atom wood, all that, and even cooperating on the military side now that giants are joining the Marines. And then we get that little moment with deep-sea currents, Umit, the underworld dealer. As soon as he shows up, it just clicks. Of course he's the guy who's been sneaking atom wood out of Elbaf and selling it in the black market. Suddenly, Frankie getting enough atom wood to build the Sunny makes way more sense. Everything connects. So at first, things look great. Giants are appearing more in the Marines, people aren't scared of them anymore, and the walrus school that Saul built is up and running. Harald is walking around with that proud dad of the whole nation energy. Kids are laughing, the people love him. It feels warm. It feels wholesome. And then, as a One Piece fan, you get that little gut feeling. You're like, hold on, this is a flashback. Oda is being way too nice right now. And just like that, your smile disappears. Because happiness in an Oda flashback usually means you're about to get punched in the chest.
Right when Harald is talking to Saul about how Elbaf is growing, we suddenly cut to a cemetery. Snow falling, everything quiet, and then we see a gravestone with Ida's name. And the moment you see it, you know Oda's about to hurt you again. We flash back to Ida's room, where she's bedridden but still talking with Harald. She tells him she's proud of the new direction of Elbaf, how the kids are happier, more focused on learning, and how the country is slowly letting go of old warrior traditions. But she also tells him not to lose the warrior spirit entirely. That part of Elbaf's identity means something to her. Harald reminds her that those same warrior rules are the reason they were never legally allowed to marry, which makes their whole situation even sadder. They start talking about their kids, Loki and Hyrudin, and they dream about what life will be like once Elbaf becomes an official member nation of the world government. Giants will be able to travel again like they did long ago, and Harald gets genuinely excited just picturing it. You can hear the joy in his voice.
And then Ida reaches out to him. He reaches back. The moment their hands touch, her arm drops. She dies instantly. No warning, no big speech, just gone. Meanwhile, Loki is still locked up. He doesn't get to see her, doesn't get to say goodbye, doesn't even get to attend her funeral. All we get is him quietly tipping his hat, like he could feel something shatter inside him. Oda knows exactly how to tear your heart out and step on it. After that heavy moment, the story jumps to 14 years ago. This is where things get messy. We learn that Shanks straight up disappeared after his last mission. He was supposed to get the deep sea mark next, but because he's nowhere to be found, Harald becomes the next candidate, and he accepts the position with zero hesitation. We, the audience, already know this is a disaster waiting to happen, but if you look at it from Harald's point of view, his logic actually tracks.
He wants Elbaf to join the rest of the world. The rest of the world is controlled by the world government, and giants have a terrible reputation. People see them as monsters. So Harald thinks the only way to change the world's opinion is by reshaping Elbaf into a peaceful, cooperative nation and getting accepted as an official member. Because in the One Piece world, if you're not with the world government, you're basically a target. God Valley already showed us that. The government doesn't care about independent nations. They do whatever they want and nobody questions them. If they invaded Elbaf, most people would probably say they deserved it because of their past. So yeah, Harald's decision comes from fear, from wanting a better future. But he was definitely naive. He should have listened to Rox instead of writing him off. Rox knew way more about the truth of the world, including Emu, and even had a plan to deal with her before things went sideways. And then there's the biggest red flag of them all, the demonic pentagram in the throne room. Like, bro, how do you let someone convince you to paint a satanic symbol in your castle and not ask a single question? That's wild. Harald thought he was paying with his soul, but he didn't realize the devil wanted more. He wanted everything.
People love comparing Harald to Odin, but I don't think that really fits. The only similarity is that they both got manipulated and died for it. Harald's situation is more realistic. When Germany lost World War I and World War II, they had to accept harsh treaties, change their whole national identity, outlaw old beliefs, and join different world organizations. That's basically what Harald was trying to do with Elbaf. Odin's motives were personal. He just didn't want anyone to die in a war with Kaido. He's more like Vivi in that sense. And honestly, Odin had a way better shot at beating Kaido when he first came back than after letting him build an entire empire. The other big discussion in this chapter is the whole what happens when a warrior nation stops being warrior-like question. Saul straight up asks Harald if he thinks he's losing something important by letting go of old traditions. Harald insists that countries don't need strength through military power anymore, which sounds nice, but doesn't line up with anything we've seen in this world. Ida tells him to hold on to their warrior pride too, even though that same pride kept them apart. And then you look at modern Elbaf after shifting away from the warrior culture. The only people left fighting were old men and teachers. 4 intruders from Mary Joie caused total chaos. That's embarrassing for a country known as the strongest nation in the world, so Elbaf might be heading down a dangerous path. Harald believed the world government would protect them, so he thought they didn't need an army anymore. But Emu didn't want peace.
I don't want peace. I want problems!
She wanted a giant army of slaves. Harald walked straight into that trap. And while he deserves blame for missing obvious red flags, part of me understands why he did what he did. He made the wrong decision, but not for the wrong reasons.
The chapter ends with Harald calling Loki in. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the throne room massacre. Harald has demonic powers now, meaning he's basically at a Rox-like level. It took 2 of the strongest pirates and marines working together to beat Rox. So how did Loki defeat Harald alone? That's the real mystery. I think Loki's devil fruit, his haki, and especially those strange eyes of his are going to be the key. He didn't understand his ability before talking to Gaban, but now it seems like he has a clearer picture of what he can do. And now we're about to see it in action. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what you think Shanks's final mission was before he disappeared.